Today we're checking out how good the Fractal Audio AxeFx I was. If you're familiar with my YouTube channel, you may know that I'm a big fan of the modeling units which are currently available on the market. And I started my journey basically with the well, what was it, Line 6 Pod XT, but I couldn't get good results with that, so then I screwed it for a little while, and the first unit which I got where I was really satisfied, which was sounding better than my analog gear, which was the Mesa Tri-Axis at the time, it was the Fractal Audio AxeFx I. And I plugged it in today after a long time, and here's the editor. Today wanted to check out how it sounds with a little bit of distance, and of course I own the AxeFx II, the AxeFx III and the Cortex and whatsoever, but I was kind of surprised how good this unit sounded. And first of all, the unit is in all aspects not comparable to the newer Line 6, to the newer Fractal Audio products, because it has less power. It doesn't sound that good like the new units. It does. The effects quality is not as good. It's not as flexible, but I think it can compare to some of the units on the market, at least in the budget region, if not more. So you can see the effects chain here. You can put something in parallel. That was also possible, dual amp setups and so on. Let's start with the amps. Here you have the list of amps, which is ridiculous short in comparison to the AxeFx III, which has about 300 amp models. Currently I'm playing the Rect Orange, as you can see, and Enhancer is doing the widener effect. If I disengage this and the delay, I remember me using the Recto models a lot back in the days because I liked them. Also, I'm using stock caps here. There are also not that many caps. So you can see this is the list basically, and I think there were a couple which sounded decent, and you could add 10 additional IRs, which is not that much compared to, or not that many compared to nowadays units. Of course you have your effects, and here you have the list. You can add 2 wahs, but you cannot choose from different models here. 2 reverbs, or up to 2 reverbs, 2 rotary effects. So basically I think 2 instances of each block. You don't have the scenes feature, you don't have the channel feature like the newer units have. But other than that, of course, they're all the effects which you know, and they're all pretty good. So I think back in the days they were compared to the leading effects units like the TC Electronics, and they were on that level. So definitely nothing wrong with the effects units. So let's check out maybe a chorus. Okay, and of course you have to dial it in properly. But really you have the parameters here and nothing else. You don't have kind of presets that come with the unit. And I personally prefer the enhancer block for this wide stereo effect if you're playing distorted tones. The reverb sounds good in my opinion, and And compared to what you can do to the amp block nowadays, well, you have here the advanced page, but it's really not that much. I tweaked the low and the high cut after the preamp, which does the job in most cases for getting rid of flubbiness. Amp geek here, and what you could also do is you could change the tone state. So for example, you could use maybe this would be the original tone state, maybe the red to red. Or even a Marshall, which was, I think, what was it? Plexi or something I like. You have EQs, which are very powerful in that unit, and yeah, graphic EQs and also parametric EQs. Fractal audio products, the EQs sound really good in all the products, and they're very usable, very flexible. And of course the delays, which are very important for me, but also not a ton of that, only 5. Again, it looks maybe very limited if you compare it to, for example, the medium price range units nowadays, like the Hotone Ampero to stage. But I would say the overall tone is on a similar level like the Ampero 2 stage. Although I think there are some other factors here are lacking. For example, the poor display, and also you don't have a USB output and interface. So I had to connect this via MIDI to my interface to get it working, and there's always latency here with the editor, and of course you need an additional interface if you want to record like I do now. There's another patch here using the JCM. Very nice. And also what I found out is there are some, well, factory presets here, which I liked a lot. So for example, the dual preset here, backline, dual amp preset. Although there's something happening, I think, with the stereo effect. But it's not harsh or annoying or floppy. And also, of course, there are some presets with really nice clean tones. So how was it called? Let me show you. Night Creatures, no. Dripping Wet, I think. Of course, it's not that clean, but so this is a factory preset, and also Screaming Plexi here. For the Ingways. Of course, I didn't adjust the levels, but just to give you a little bit of a an impression how it sounds. Still thinking, where was the here, the liquid chorus, I think was like this 80s. call it then half clean. It is not bad when playing on the bridge pickup. So yeah, there you have it. That is my short video about the AxeFx One. I think if you could get it for a good price used, then you should give it a try. And also, if you are looking for a good sounding rack effects unit, it also does the job. But of course, also the effects, the amps, and the built-in caps can deliver great tones. And given the fact that you don't find any kind of rack units nowadays, except the Fractal audio products, which are way more expensive, this is definitely something which I would consider. So there you have it. Hope to see you. Adios.